More than 85% of parents support having LGBTQ sexual education being taught in schools, but less than 20% of students report having it. Naeem Muhammad is in Brooklyn with our story.
Alright, let me rectify the situation. LGBTQ, yeah, we up in this nation. Ain't forget the little T's, yeah, we showing dedication. Ain't
Many
really
students believe that their curriculum doesn't address LGBTQ sex education.
Like, I feel like it's looked over.
Brianna Johnson is a sophomore at Urban Assembly for Law and Justice High School in New York.
Some people might not feel it like it's a necessity because, like, if two people of different genders engage in sex, you can get pregnant. But if, like, they're the same sex, something like that won't happen, so I guess people just look over it.
In a 2015 survey by the Public Religion Research Institute, 88% of millennials said that they did not learn about same-sex relations in sex education classes. Shamilla Lauren is a junior.
So, do you have any family that you might think is for this or against just issue in general with the community?
I come from a Jamaican background, and I feel like the traditional side of my family, like the older, like in their 50s, would be against this.
Studies show that well-designed sex ed courses can reduce teen pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases regardless of sexual orientation.
Classes with people.
World history teacher Darren Cohen leads the Gay Straight Alliance at her school.
We don't want to make it any harder. And then sex ed, I've talked to some students about, and just like the idea that it seems like maybe there still needs to be more done with helping LGBTQ students.
We're not there yet, but we're working on it.
Lindsay Hart is the executive director of school wellness programs for New York City schools.
A few students we've talked to about the LGBTQ health situation said that there isn't enough representation on how would you respond to this?
I think you're bringing up a really good point, which is that the health education and sex education classes need to cover topics like gender identity, sexual orientation for all students, regardless of what their own identity and orientation are.
Hart and the New York Department of Education are trying to expand sex ed resources using support, training, and recommended curriculum. With more than 1,800 public schools in New York, it's a challenge.
For high school, the curriculum that we recommend, which is a national curriculum, it's been evaluated by experts. It's been found to be effective and to meet sort of the standards of health and sexual health education.
But the New York Department of Education does not track what curriculum schools decide to use. So there's no way to know if LGBTQ students are getting the sex education they demand.
You ain't really with the games, MSC. While you playing, get the money, get some funds, spread that education.
For CBS News, Eye on the Future, I'm Naima Muhammad.
Hilda Sandoval.
Joswell Santos.
Anabia Alvi.
In Brooklyn.
And now, a story on cyberbullying.
Even though it happens online and after hours, schools across the country are experiencing the effects of cyberbullying. This year alone, New York City schools saw a 10% rise in bullying.
A lot of stuff on social media always happens on a Sunday. Because it happened on Sunday because Monday we got a full week.
As students at Brooklyn's Urban Assembly School for Law and Justice, we gathered a group of our peers to discuss how cyberbullying affects us and what our school is trying to do about it. First, we learned that what happens at home almost never stays at home.
And I'm just going through my newsfeed and I'll see like someone said it's about to be lit tomorrow.
It's about to be lit tomorrow means an argument that happened online over the weekend is going to escalate in school.
But it kind of can affect people like school-wise because they might not want to come to school the next day because of what other people is going to say, and they might be hurt, or they just might have, like, they might want to do self-harm.
Every year, our school has students sign what they call an online technology pledge, which reads, in part, I will use my cell phone, computer, iPad, and other electronic devices responsibly.
They have us to sign like some type of consent form. Like
students report that the pledge is ineffective.
It's not really holding us to nothing. It's not like, oh, if we cyberbully, we're gonna get arrested.
The school says students should report bullying of any kind to a faculty member, but students say most bullying goes unreported because there are consequences.
There's been a couple cases in the school where somebody did tell the staff and it did help the kid out in a way, but overall it's not the best thing to do, because then, you know, if you snitch, like how Kamari said, if you snitch, kids will try to come after you also. So it's like it has its pros and its cons.
When asked what they think schools should do to control cyberbullying and bullying in general, students recognize the enormity of the challenge.
I don't feel like you could fix that, because like it's a lot of kids. Like it's like 400 and something kids in the school, and it's like she said 95% has social media, so it can't be stopped all the time.
The question is, what is the Department of Education doing to help students combat cyberbullying?
We are spending about $47 million in school climate and mental health initiatives.
We spoke with Lois Herrera, the department's CEO of the Office of Safety and Youth Development.
We address cyberbullying in a number of ways. First and foremost, it's bullying. And so our discipline code views any type of incident of harassment, intimidation, whether it's electronic or in person, the same.
If they know the people, the perpetrators, they need to talk to them and just kind of give them a heads up, hey, that's not okay, that's not cool.
Child psychologist Darby Fox suggests that students can take matters into their own hands and be what's called an upstander, someone who does not tolerate bullying when they see it.
If it needs to, they need to go to a teacher or a parent, someone in charge, because it can really escalate. It's very damaging.
For CBS News, Eye on the Future, I'm Sia Mangua.
That's it for us. From CBS News, Eye on the Future, Josuel Santos.